Break it down. You know whose music that was?
Dude, hold on 1 second. Right, dude. Have you ever got like really badly sunburnt? Have you ever gone that or no?
Yeah. Took the whole team to the promised land. Rest in peace to my father, man. Wish you could have seen the plan.
Welcome back to episode 16, everybody, of the Two Man Game podcast. This is a very good show. We're going to talk about the NFL predictions. That's right around the corner. Preseason is starting back up. Talk about a little bit of a quick topic with the NBA, just players that we would like to see back in today's game. And then also MLB predictions. So I know last year our predictions were pretty bad. Don't go back and look at that episode.
Yeah.
But they were really bad. So hopefully this year we could pick it back up and get something going. So Casey, let's get
into it. So I've been watching a ton of old school YouTube basketball games. Mostly, I'm a big fan of 90s basketball. So it made me think, what players would I like to see in today's NBA? So start us off. Who would you like to see?
Well, I think anytime you talk about basketball, the first person that comes to mind is MJ, right? So Michael Jordan, there's always this debate now whether he scored 40 a game or something like that in today's league, which I don't think he would. I really don't. Because first of all, I think scorers just like Kevin Durant, scorers like Kobe Bryant, I feel like they're not on his level, but right there, right? And then I guess Kobe, the best he's done was like 35 or 36 or something like that.
Yeah, 35.
So to be honest with you, I think he'd be up there. He'd be 38, maybe. I don't know if he'd get to 40. I know the spacing is different now.
40 is a lot.
40 is a lot. And who knows? It's Michael Jordan. He may be able to do it, but I don't see it. But he'd be up there, 36, 37 and stuff like that. We saw a couple years of Harden doing that as well, 36, 35. So one obviously is Michael Jordan. Another person I'd like to see is Reggie Miller. So the reason why is obviously because the game is transitioned into
a lot more threes
and layups. It's no mid-range. It's nothing like that. Guys are getting up 10 a game, right? Guys like Buddy Hield who getting up 10. So imagine Reggie Miller getting up 10 threes a game.
Yeah.
Right. So Reggie Miller is also a guy. Wilt Chamberlain also comes to mind. The guy put up 50 and 26 one year, right? So I mean, he's 7'1", 280 pounds. All athleticism.
Yeah, moves like a freak.
Like a freak, bro. Like, so I would definitely want to see Wilt Chamberlain in today's game.
I like
also,
that.
Larry Bird, when it comes to shooting as well, I want to see how, if he would have took 8 or 9 threes again, what he could have done. Yeah. Right. And then the last one, probably have to go with. It's a curveball here, but I'm gonna go with Dominique Wilkins.
I like it.
Also, the spacing in today's game, the type of dunks he would have pulled off in game and stuff like that. So I would go Dominique Wilkins.
I like that. For me, so I got Hakeem Olajuwon, 21, 11, 3 blocks a game, 1.7 steals for his career. One of the better centers. He was a smaller center, but to see him play against the centers of today's game with the spacing, I think it would be amazing.
Oh, he would have cooked.
Yeah. So Hakeem Olajuwon would love to see him in today's game. Charles Barkley, 22, 11, 4 assists a game for his career. Undersized big, but he was a fucking beast in the paint rebounding wise. So with the smaller NBA today, I would love to see him as like a small ball 5. I think that would be electric. Obviously, Michael Jordan, 36 and 5 for his career. I personally think he would average 40 in today's NBA. So I would love to see that. Reggie Miller, another person, 18, 3 and 3 in his career. One of the best 3-point shooters of all time. With how the people are shooting in today's NBA, I would love to see him put up 10 threes a game, like you said. My last person was Dirk, 21, 7, and 2 on his career. But in his career, he only took 3.4 three-pointers a game. So not very much for for a guy who was one of the better big men shooting threes in his time. So in today's NBA, I would love to see all these guys, how they would do. I think these guys are all legends already, but just to see it in a fast-paced game, I think that would be so fun to see. So those are my guys. I think we both have pretty good people. I think all-time great players, they're going to be able to play in any era. So, but damn, that would be so fun to see.
Yeah.
Just
absolutely. I really like that Charles Barkley. That you brought up, Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
What did they used to call him? The mound round of rebound, something like that.
Yeah.
Man, that dude would have put up numbers.
Yeah,
he would have been bullying people in today's league.
Sure. It was. Yeah, I've been watching like so many old school games on YouTube. So like, I've watched like classic games of all these guys as of late. So that's wow. I'm like, oh my god, like these guys in today's NBA would be so fun to watch.
Yeah.
So those I would love to see that. But moving on, the NBA announced NBA Rivalry Week. There's all the games are pretty good matchups. I don't know if you would call them all rivalries, but more of like face each other in the playoffs, inner city rivals.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll list off the games and tell me which ones you're looking forward to, or if there's any hype behind it. So Celtics Heat, Clippers Lakers, Nets 76ers, Grizzlies Warriors, Bulls Hornets, Suns Mavs, Wolves Grizzlies, Nuggets 76ers, Knicks Nets, Raptors Warriors, Lakers Celtics.
The first one that comes to mind is probably Memphis and Minnesota.
That's a low key one. I like that.
It's a low key. It's a low key, but it's a lot of young guys running up and down the floor, right? And that's always interesting. You know they're gonna talk this shit as well. Like Ja Morant's coming at whoever, Anthony Edwards is coming at whoever. Ja Morant's going to challenge Rudy Gobert at the rim, stuff like that. Like little things like that. That's going to just be huge. I'm not sure. Did you say Memphis and Golden State?
Yeah,
you did say that.
Yeah,
that's also another one I want to see.
Yeah,
especially with how the playoff series ended last year when Ja Morant thought Jordan Poole tried to injure him, and they were talking, back and
trash
forth
on Twitter.
Right. Draymond and Ja been going back and forth. And also another thing, it's kind of like on a side note, but Draymond Green said one player that he would say reminds him of himself is Ja Morant. And he listed off a few things, can lead a team, is not going to back down from anybody, no matter what you did in the past. I don't care how many championships you won, I'm coming at you. So that's definitely going to be interesting to see. Always the Lakers Celtics too.
Yeah, just a classic rivalry.
It's always a classic rivalry. You always want to see the green and yellow go at it. Like I remember 2008 and 2010, those finals were amazing. 7-game series. Well, the 2010 was 7 games. 2010 was 7 games, and it was just a war, absolute war. So I guess I'm gonna go with those 3 for right now.
Yeah, I like it. Damn, they're all pretty good matchups. Mm-hmm. I think the Battle of LA, even though it's a pretty lopsided rivalry.
As of late. Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it on Twitter a little bit, but I think when you get all those guys, PG, Kawhi, and then you get Braun, AD, and Russ, if they're all healthy, those are the guys you would like to see battling against each other. So, and they got the little tension, I guess you could say. Reggie Jackson was fooling around on them last year. So hopefully they're all healthy, and hopefully we could see that. Yeah, I really like the Wolves and Grizz, like you said, a young division rivals. They had a pretty good playoff series, even though it went only 6, but all the games were pretty exciting overall. I like the Nuggets and 76ers, even though it's not really a rivalry. It's the 2 best big men in the league going at it. So, I mean, how could you not want to watch that? Yep. Obviously, the Warriors and Grizzlies, that's a new up and coming I guess you could say rivalry. They
Mhm.
got some animosity towards each other, the play-in and playoffs and Twitter beef and all that stuff.
Right.
So that's another one. And also the Celtics and Heat. They played each other 2 of the last 3 Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
So and then it also makes me think of the LeBron days when they were going at it against the big 3 and the Heat's big 3. So and then obviously Suns and Mavs. I want to see how the Suns bounce back against them. Even though it's just a regular season game, it was pretty embarrassing how they went out last year. So
Yeah.
I would like to see that matchup. And the Mavs got better too this offseason.
They did.
So looking forward to that. And yeah, the Lakers Celtics. I think anytime Jason Tatum plays against the Lakers, I feel like he goes off. So that should be pretty fun. I'm looking forward though to that week. It's all good teams. I guess the worst game you could say is like the Bulls and Hornets, but even LaMelo Ball is must-see TV, and the Bulls are a pretty exciting team to watch. At least last year they were. So I'm looking forward to it. Sixers, Nets traveling to Philadelphia. Ben Simmons first game in Philly. I mean, there's a lot of hype around that. I'm looking forward to seeing how he plays this year. So
I'm putting that on. I'm putting that on my must see.
Yeah,
well. I gotta see Ben Simmons back in Philly.
Yeah, like I mean, all these games are cool. The Raptors and Warriors, I guess that's like one of the lower tier. I get for me at least, even though like it's not much of a rivalry, it was just a finals rematch.
Yeah, it was just a finals matchup. Yeah.
But the Raptors last year played the Warriors pretty good. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for that. Moving on to some NFL. We're in week 2 of the preseason as we're recording this right now. What are your thoughts on the season? Who do you got winning the divisions?
So we're gonna break it down. We can go. All right. So NFC East. The NFC East is always I want to say a bloodbath. So it's always the teams are either really good, and then there's the Giants, or they're all really bad, right? And I think over the past couple years, the division has gotten really good. Because I mean, we can go back to I believe it was 2019. No team was over 500 until maybe I don't think any team was over 500 for the whole season. So that
was a bad year.
It's pretty bad. But I'm gonna have to go with the Dallas Cowboys here. I'll just believe in Dak Prescott. I believe in Dak. Their defense is pretty good. I think Trayvon Diggs on defense he can't give up the yards he gave up last year. I mean, he was good in terms of ball hawking and a lot of interceptions, but he also gave up a lot of yards. I believe the most yards in the NFL. So if he could get that together, I think the Cowboys win this division. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, can you just go through the whole?
All right. NFC North, I don't think will be competitive. I think that the Vikings may give Rodgers a run for that division, but I think the Packers win that pretty easily. The NFC West, I like the Rams, but the only question with the Rams right now is the health of Matthew Stafford. I know he had some elbow issues currently still, so we'll see how his elbow is. I think they do win that division. I know we talked about this, the Niners. The Niners will be good in a few years. I know they just got to the NFC Championship game, but that's with an experienced quarterback that has been through it. Jimmy G has been in some games and situations. He's not the best quarterback, but he's been in the situation. Trey Lance, okay, let's break it down a little bit. He has 2 starts. His accuracy was an issue. Yes, he's taking first team reps this year. He's probably understanding the playbook a little bit better, but I don't think he's going to be better than Jimmy G. He may be on that same level. So I think they win 9 to 10 games. They will be competitive and they probably will maybe make the wild card, but that's also a tough division as well because the Cardinals are right there too. The NFC South. Now this is interesting because I always want to go with Brady. We know what he brings to the table. But the Saints are really good too. They ended up getting Tyrann Mathieu on defense. They're getting Jameis Winston, who also has been there a few years. Like, he understands the playbook.
Yeah.
Only issue I see, we talked about this as well, is Sean Payton not being there anymore. We'll see what type of. I mean, they have Brady's number, so we'll see how that goes. It's tough. I'm gonna go with the Bucks though. They picked up Julio Jones.
It's a safe pick.
Yeah, it's a safe pick. They picked up Julio Jones, bona fide Hall of Famer. So, yes, NFC. Yeah, those are my 4 teams. The AFC West is gonna be a really fun division.
It's gonna be a bloodbath.
I'm gonna go with the safe pick and say Pat Mahomes will get it done. Because, I mean, the last 4 years, that's all he's done is get it done. But the Chargers are right there. The Raiders, if Derek Carr can play solid, are right there. But I'm gonna go safe pick with the Chiefs here. AFC South, I like the Colts. I like the pickup of Matt Ryan. It'll be interesting to see the improvement of Trevor Lawrence. I know the Jags aren't going to do anything, but he didn't really play that well last year.
Yeah, I think he was in a bad situation. Though.
Bad situation. Yeah. There's a lot of turnaround with that franchise. A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how he comes back.
I think they'll be better though than what they were last year for sure.
Right. The AFC North is also going to be tough. I like the Ravens. I like the Bengals. I might go with the Ravens. I want to say the Ravens here. I mean, they were the best team in the AFC record-wise before Lamar Jackson got hurt.
Yeah, they were like 8-3 or something.
8-3,
like
and then imagine all the injuries they had. They had their 2 top corners were out. All the running backs were gone. Like, it's like, how is he still 8-2 with all this? So I like the Ravens. And then what am I missing? The AFC East. I'm gonna go with the Bills. Yeah, they're the best team in that division. So.
Yeah, we agree on most of these picks.
Mm-hmm.
NFC West, I got the Rams. I think they're the best team in that division. Obviously, the concern of Matthew Stafford, that's big, but if he's healthy and he's playing, I think they're the best team in their division. And NFC East is where we disagree a little bit. I got the Eagles winning. I think they got better in the offseason. The addition to AJ Brown, their defense has been solid. They got better this past offseason. I think Jalen Hurts, another year of him playing, I think that'll be good. Yeah. That division is a toss-up too. No one's repeated in the division for the last like 10 years. So Cowboys won it last year. I got the Eagles. I think they're just going to be better this year. It will be close. The NFC East is not my favorite division. The NFC South, I got the Saints winning this. I think they got Tom Brady's number. Jameis Winston, they were good up until he got hurt last year. Mm-hmm. Their division isn't good besides the 2 top teams, I would say. And with the addition of Michael Thomas coming back, mm-hmm. that their offense is going to be good with Jarvis Landry too, and then their draft pick out of Ohio State, Olave, I think Olave. He was good out of Ohio State, so their offense is going to be good. Their defense has
always
been
solid.
Exactly, always solid. So I think the Saints. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks win because their offense is crazy. They got Tom Brady, but my dark horse is the Saints. I do like the Saints. So that. NFC North. I got the Bears winning. No.
Oh, God. Hey, if you would have kept the confidence, bro, I would have believed you 100%. Like, you really thought the Bears would win that.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, I wanted to throw you off a little bit. No, I got the Packers, unfortunately, winning it. I hate to say it, but Aaron Rodgers, dude's a bad man. He owns the Bears, unfortunately.
He owns the regular season.
Yeah. I agree. And then, but also, I wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings give them a run for their money. I think they're just going to keep. They play the Packers pretty good normally, so I think they'll keep it close.
I believe in Kirk Cousins. I like Kirk Cousins.
I think he's a solid quarterback.
He's probably the most average quarterback you can get.
Yeah.
Most average.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the AFC. AFC West. I'm going with the safe pick. I got the Chiefs, man. Until they beat Patrick Mahomes in that division, that's when I'll be like, okay. But as of right now, I do have the Chiefs. I think the Chargers, the whole division is crazy. The Chargers are going to be good. Their defense is really good. Herbert, he's a young stud. They're gonna be dangerous in that division. The Raiders, their offense is crazy. Question marks on their defense, but their offense could compete with the best of them. Then the Broncos with Russell Wilson in the division, that's going to be exciting to watch.
That's exciting.
So it's going to be fun, but I'm going to stick with Patrick Mahomes, man. AFC East, the Bills, I don't think that's really hard to decide. I think the Dolphins obviously are going to be better. Their offense is going to be nice. Their defense has been solid these last couple of years, but the Bills are just they're fucking nice. AFC South, I got the Colts. I think the upgrade of Matt Ryan, that's going to be solid. I think AJ Brown leaving
the Titans. Yeah.
Leaving the Titans, that's going to be big. So I got the Colts. The rest of the division isn't very good. And AFC North, I got the Ravens. That division, if Deshaun Watson was playing, I think that would have been a hell of a division, maybe the second best in the league. But I think the Ravens 8-3 before Lamar Jackson got hurt. They're all going to be healthy this year. It should be a hell of a division, but I got the Ravens. The Bengals they're not going anywhere. They got Joe Burrow. Their offense is crazy. So I'm looking forward to the season, though. We'll see. I got high expectations for my Bears, though. So
all right, so let's talk about it. What you got the Bears doing this year?
Well, well, it's not really high expectations. If they go 500, I'd be excited. Last year, their coach was absolutely terrible. Arguably the second worst rookie situation behind Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Matt Nagy isn't it. So. All right. So we gave our expectations for the divisions. What are your expectations for your Steelers? Talk a little bit about our own teams.
Yeah. Weird situation. It's a situation we haven't been in, I want to say, 15 or so years. As long as Big Ben has been in the league.
Yeah, what is that? 04, I think.
04, yeah. He came in with Eli and Phillip Rivers. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
But yeah, so we in a situation where we don't know as of now who our quarterback's going to be. And it's scary. You don't know. We got a rookie quarterback, Kenny Pickett. You got a guy
he's been looking good.
He has been. You got a guy who's been there, Mason Rudolph, who's not the best option, but he's been there. He knows the offense. He knows Tomlin. He's been there for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then you also got a guy who came in, Mitch Trubisky, who I personally like, and I think he can thrive with the right coaching around him, with Tomlin, the right defense around him, which we do have. So the defense in Tomlin, I feel like is always going to carry us to at least 8 or 9 wins every year, right? And then I look at it from this perspective. Big Ben was terrible last year. He couldn't throw the ball past 10 yards. Our offense was predictable. We threw a lot of screens. We had to rely on Najee Harris a lot. So teams pretty much came in there like with 8 in the box, like, okay, we're gonna make Big Ben beat his D.
Yeah.
So we get somebody with an arm and a little bit of accuracy with the receivers that we have. I think we could be pretty good. So right now I'm gonna say 9-8.
9-8. I think that's respectable. I respect it. 9-8. Yeah, for the Bears, man, it's they're projected to be the worst team in the league, man. The worst team. And listen, you and me were talking the other day, and call me delusional, but I don't think there's no way in hell the Bears are the worst team in the NFL. Like, I just don't see it. The coaching, everything I've been reading, all the beat writers, what they've been talking about. I watch whenever I can the interviews with the coach. The coach it's night and day between last year and this year.
Yeah.
And even with Mitch Trubisky going to Pittsburgh, he looked really good. I mean, he was the backup last year for the Bills, but he looked really good when he played against the Bears. Once he got away from Nagy, he looked solid. So I don't see why Mr. Trubisky wouldn't play solid for the Steelers if he's the starter. But going back to the Bears, the new head coach, Eberflus, he's a defensive-minded coach. He was the defensive coordinator for the Colts these last couple of years, and the Colts defense been one of the better teams in the league defensively. Yeah. He likes the team to be really aggressive, ball hawks. That's all I've been seeing in the preseason. It's preseason, so I mean, I'm not going to get too excited about it, but with defensive-minded coach, he seems like he's no bullshit, He's really about his business. So just the way the team sounds, everything, it just sounds like it's night and day. Justin Fields, he wasn't very good last year. I know that. He was dealing with one of the worst offensive lines in the league. And even in preseason, we've been still seeing it, and it's scary as hell. So that's obviously a question, but their offensive coordinator, he was the quarterback's coach for Green Bay these last couple of years. So we worked with Aaron Rodgers, top 2 quarterback in the league right now. So his offensive style, you could see the similarities, what he's been bringing over to the Bears. And so I think the offense, it can't get worse than what it was last year. I think it's only going to be better. So my prediction for the Bears, yeah, bro. They won 6 games last year, so if we could get 6 games, I'm happy, bro.
All right, so 6-11.
Yeah, 6-11. I don't know if that'll be the worst record in the league.
No.
But I just don't see the Bears being the worst team in the league. Call me delusional. Whoever is watching this, comment whatever you think.
Yeah. And you guys also getting Roquan Smith back. I know he demanded a trade, but past couple of days he started practicing yesterday, so that was sick. Their defense, I think, is going to be solid. Question marks on the offense, wide receiver core. I mean, Mooney is solid, but besides that, there's no one really exactly proven, I guess you could say. So a lot of question marks. Just a lot of pain being a Bears fan. Hey, I always like young teams, like young quarterbacks.
Yeah,
because there's always room for improvement and stuff like that. So
that's my biggest thing. If I see improvement from Justin Fields, he hasn't had a big sample size in preseason so far, but what I've seen, he's looked solid. He's just gonna be running for his life a lot. So I'm looking forward to it though, man. It's a good time of the year. Sundays made for just vibing, watching football. And
absolutely.
Yeah, so can't wait. Let's go Bears. So moving on, MLB, it's the heat of August. This one, it's getting good. For me, the thing that stands out the most is just the NL playoffs. I can't wait for that. For me, the Dodgers, Mets, Braves, I think those teams are just above everyone in the NL. I think the Padres and Cardinals, I think they're solid, but I just really like the teams who I listed above. So I know you've been on your Yankee hype. They've been one of the worst teams in August. I hope you saw that picture I sent you today. But just what do you think about the MLB season right now going into the playoffs? We still got some time, but it's getting down to the end.
I want to shout out one team right now, and that's the Baltimore Orioles.
I like it.
The Orioles have been playing really good baseball. And I think coming into the year, they were projected to be either the worst or the second worst team in the league.
Yeah. They're proving people wrong.
Yeah. And so right before the All-Star break, they started catching fire. They started winning games. And now since the All-Star break, they've been one of the best teams in the league in fighting for a wild card spot.
Yeah, I think they're like 1.5 games out. They're right there in the hunt.
Right there. They lost yesterday to Boston, but and that's another team too. They've been terrible. The Boston Red Sox. Yeah, trending down. Chris Sale with the
riding a bike or
freak injuries. Like he comes back, breaks his pinky.
Yeah.
Comes back one start I believe it was.
He comes back, hurt his hand, and then when he's hurt, he gets hurt again.
Yeah, so unfortunate. And so obviously I'm in Boston now, so they've been trashing the Red Sox. They, under 500. They went on that crazy stretch where you remember that blooper reel? It was like a bunch of errors and stuff.
They were
like
just
that.
playing terrible
Oh
defensively.
man, terrible defense. Giving up a bunch of runs.
I've been seeing a bunch of terrible defense. The Giants, they haven't been very good defensively.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I understand.
Yeah, but shout out, like I said, shout out to the Baltimore Orioles. The AL, like you said, is not as strong. I believe the third seed right now might be the Seattle Mariners. And then, other than the Astros and Yankees,
I don't think, yeah.
I don't even, I mean, who else would you really have as a contender? I don't see anybody. And right now, the Yankees don't look like a contender. So,
yeah.
It may be, look, like I said, I don't want you to be right. I always want to go against you. It's podcast, it's whatever. You know me. So you have the Astros winning the AL right now. I'm leaning towards your side. But like I said, I want the Yankees to break through and get something going. I thought, I don't know if you saw the other day, they were down 3 in the ninth and Josh Donaldson hits a grand slam to win the game.
Yeah.
I thought that would kind of propel them to, maybe get their second win or whatever.
Yeah,
they haven't been good at all. So we'll see. The NL is going to be really good. I think I have the Dodgers coming out of the National League.
I think that's like the safe pick.
It's a safe pick. As you can tell by all day, I've been going with the safe pick.
Yeah.
And watch the I don't know the Phillies mess around and get to the wild
card.
Hot, and get to the World Series. So you never know. My baseball picks have been terrible.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the safe pick here in the National League and say the Dodgers.
Yeah. No, I like it. I've been riding the Astros train since I think it might have been July or so. Mm-hmm. I think they're just a real complete team. I really like what they do.
Yeah.
NL side, I can't give you who I think would win right now because the Dodgers are nasty. The Mets, they're fucking 1-2 punch with DeGrom and Scherzer is crazy. And then the Braves, their whole lineup, I love their lineup.
Yeah, they're so deep.
Austin Riley, like over these last couple months, has become like one of my favorite players in the league. I really like Austin Riley. Yeah. He's a stud. So yeah, I can't really give you my NL prediction right now. I think it's going to be really fun to watch though once it comes out of the end. And the Mets and Braves, the Braves as of right now are like 3 games behind them. So that should be a fun little race towards the end. Before we get off here, I want to ask you, we didn't get to talk about it much, or at least on the podcast. How do you feel about the Nationals trading away Soto?
It sucks. I mean, if you look at the past 3 to 4 years, the talent we've had, and it's like, what are we doing? We just won a World Series in 2019. We just won a World Series, and then the next year we get rid of Scherzer and Trey Turner. Or a couple years before that, we got rid of Bryce Harper.
Clearly
walked away. Yeah, got him nothing back. You know what I mean? And then Soto and probably our best hitter, Josh Bell. Obviously, he's not a generational talent, but he's having a good year.
Yeah, he's been good.
So it sucks. Like, I mean, we're not good with 40 and 80. It's whatever. But I don't like the fact that teams load up so much during the trade deadline every year. I feel like the bottom tier teams just give away talent so quick. And I know Soto's on an expiring contract.
He still had a couple years.
Oh, is he?
It wasn't after this year. I think it's like this season and 2 more after. So
okay. Well, I know Scherzer and Trey Turner were both on expiring contracts. But teams just load up. Like the Yankees ended up getting an all-star at the deadline, Andrew Benintendi. It's every year. Like the Royals just got rid of him. Like, hey, go ahead. Yeah. So I wish there could be a little bit more, I guess you could say, to that. I wish, it didn't happen every year because teams just load up. And it's crazy. So
yeah.
But yeah, it
with
sucks.
that trade, I wasn't too happy to see him come to the NL West.
Yeah.
But honestly, the Dodgers still run the division. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but the Dodgers are just so good. But it'll be cool whenever him and Tatis could get on the field together. Whenever that is. Whenever that is. So
another thing, man, the Padres haven't been good since the trade deadline.
Oh, been costing me some money too. Yeah.
and then they traded for Josh Hader.
Yeah, and he's been terrible.
Milwaukee, arguably the best closer in the game, and he's been horrendous.
The Giants broke him, man. Yaz hit a walk-off grand slam, and then since then, that was when he was on the Brewers, and then since then he's just been trending downwards.
Hey, the Nats won 2 games off of him.
Yeah,
we had the game tied at the bottom of it or top of the ninth, and he came in.
Yeah,
and we won both of those games. So they giving him some time off right now. They want to be closer by committee now, so maybe he can get his mind right. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, I mean, hopefully not. I mean, I'm in this division. So. But I can't wait. I can't wait for the playoffs. It's right around the corner. Just enjoy these last couple of weeks of baseball and football, getting right into the swings and swing of things. And then in a couple weeks after that, NBA. So it's a good time of the year. And the FIFA World Cup is this year too. So like, there's going to be so much sports coming on. So can't wait to get on here and talk with everyone about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's a wrap, everybody, for episode 16 of the Two Man Game podcast. Hopefully this year our predictions go a little bit better than last year when it comes to baseball.
Yeah.
I think football, we got it right on the money, though. It's a few divisions that can go either way. But other than that, that's it. That's what we got. Appreciate you guys sticking with us. And we'll be back with another one.
Let us know what you think about them. If you don't agree, say why. I want to hear from the people. So thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.